On December 17, 2025, President Donald Trump delivered a highly anticipated primetime address from the White House, a moment that captured the attention of millions of Americans across the country. The nation tuned in, eager to hear directly from the president during a period marked by economic uncertainty and rising anxiety about the future. The president's primary goal was to reassure Americans about the state of the economy and address the growing concerns over rising living costs, which had become a daily struggle for many families. He acknowledged the challenges faced by ordinary citizens, from higher grocery bills to increased energy prices, and promised that his administration was working tirelessly to provide relief. The speech, which lasted just under 20 minutes, was delivered with a sense of urgency and empathy, specifically targeting families as they prepared for the holiday season and looked ahead to the upcoming midterm elections. Trump's words were carefully chosen to connect with viewers on a personal level, emphasizing unity and hope during a time of national stress. Surrounded by his most trusted senior staff, Trump projected an image of a government actively engaged in tackling the nation's biggest challenges. The presence of key advisors underscored the seriousness of the moment and the administration's commitment to finding solutions. He took the opportunity to celebrate what he described as major economic achievements since returning to office, highlighting job growth, a rebounding stock market, and renewed investment in American industries. Trump also unveiled a series of bold promises for the future, pledging to continue fighting for American workers and families. Trump's message was carefully crafted to resonate with anxious citizens, framing his policies as direct benefits for ordinary Americans. He spoke of new tax relief measures, expanded job training programs, and efforts to lower healthcare costs, all designed to ease the burdens faced by working families. Throughout the address, he placed blame on the previous administration for the economic troubles that had plagued the country, positioning himself as the leader who had pulled the nation back from the brink of crisis. Trump contrasted his own leadership style with that of his predecessors, promising a new era of prosperity and stability. The address was less about diving into policy specifics and more about setting a confident, optimistic tone for the year ahead. Trump's words were meant to inspire hope, restore faith in the American dream, and rally the nation behind his vision for the future. Broadcast live nationwide, the speech marked a clear shift from the rhetoric of campaigning to the responsibilities of governing. As Trump prepared to defend his record and promise even more for the American people, the address set the stage for the political battles and policy debates that would define the coming year. The headline announcement was a warrior dividend, a one-time payment of $1,776 to every active-duty U.S. military member. This bold move was unveiled as a centerpiece of Trump's speech, immediately capturing the attention of both the military community and the general public. The sum, $1,776, was chosen with care, echoing the year of America's independence and symbolizing a direct connection to the nation's founding ideals. Trump linked the amount to the nation's founding, framing it as a patriotic gesture of gratitude. He emphasized that this payment was not just a financial bonus, but a tribute to the sacrifices and service of those in uniform. By invoking the spirit of 1776, he aimed to inspire a sense of unity and national pride, reminding Americans of the values that have shaped the country. The checks, funded by revenue from tariffs on imports, were promised to arrive before Christmas. This timing was no accident. Trump wanted military families to feel recognized and appreciated during the holiday season, a time when many service members are separated from loved ones. Trump presented tariffs as a tool that made foreign countries pay for American benefits, not consumers. He argued that the funds for the warrior dividend would come directly from tariffs imposed on imported goods, shifting the financial burden away from American taxpayers and onto foreign competitors. The move was designed to resonate with both the military and the broader public, reinforcing his image as a strong supporter of the armed forces. It was a calculated effort to show that his administration was taking concrete steps to honor and reward those who serve. By timing the payment for the holidays, Trump aimed to create goodwill and highlight his administration's direct action. The promise of a check arriving just in time for Christmas was meant to bring joy and relief to military families, making the gesture even more memorable. The warrior dividend quickly became the most talked-about promise of the night, standing out for its clarity and symbolism. It sparked conversations across the country, with supporters praising the initiative as a meaningful way to honor the military, while critics questioned its funding and long-term impact. Regardless, the announcement left a lasting impression, highlighting the power of patriotic gestures in American politics. Trump painted a stark contrast between the economy he inherited and the one he claimed to have built in 11 months. He repeatedly called the previous administration's record a mess, asserting that his leadership had turned things around. Trump claimed to have stopped inflation and promised further relief for household budgets, directly addressing Americans' top concerns. He focused on positive metrics, omitting less favorable data like the recent rise in unemployment. The speech simplified the economic story. Trump's policies brought success, while his predecessors caused problems. This black-and-white narrative was designed for maximum impact, urging Americans to trust his version of events. Trump's message, the best is yet to come, and only his leadership can deliver it. Central to Trump's economic strategy was his policy of high tariffs on imports, which he claimed generated over $200 billion for the U.S. Treasury in 2025. He argued tariffs funded initiatives like the warrior dividend without raising taxes, and forced companies to bring jobs back to America. Trump presented tariffs as a win-win, punishing foreign competitors and revitalizing U.S. manufacturing. Critics, including the Federal Reserve, noted tariffs contributed to higher prices for American consumers, and that factory construction had actually declined. Despite the debate, Trump stuck to his narrative. Tariffs were a clear victory, funding popular programs and protecting American jobs. This message, simple and direct, was a cornerstone of his America First agenda heading into the midterms. Looking ahead, Trump promised aggressive housing reforms to address high mortgage rates and affordability. He touted a Republican tax bill for 2026, offering new deductions for tips, overtime, and Social Security refunds. Trump pledged dramatic drops in energy prices, and a new Federal Reserve chair committed to lower interest rates. On healthcare, he proposed giving federal health funds directly to Americans via health savings accounts, and announced a new website, TrumpRx, to lower drug costs. These promises targeted the core anxieties of voters: housing, taxes, healthcare, and energy. The speech previewed an ambitious agenda, aiming to build momentum and hope for the coming year. Fact-checkers quickly challenged many of Trump's claims. He boasted of $18 trillion in new investment, but official numbers were much lower. Trump claimed gas prices had dropped below $2.50 per gallon, though the actual average was $2.90. His assertion of cutting drug prices by 400, 500, or 600% was mathematically impossible. The administration highlighted lower heating costs for some, but most Americans faced rising bills for electricity and natural gas. By focusing only on positive data and ignoring broader realities, Trump's address painted an overly rosy economic picture. These exaggerations risked undermining his credibility, especially on issues where Americans could easily check the facts themselves. The fact-checking underscored the gap between the administration's narrative and the public's lived experience. In his speech, Trump devoted a major portion to the topic of immigration, making the bold claim that under his administration, there were 0 illegal border crossings for 7 consecutive months, a statement that drew both applause and skepticism. He described the U.S.-Mexico border as the strongest border in history, emphasizing the construction of new barriers and increased patrols as evidence of his tough stance. Trump also highlighted the deportation of 605,000 undocumented immigrants during his term, presenting it as a major achievement in his efforts to secure the nation. He argued that these actions led directly to more jobs and housing opportunities for American citizens, painting a picture of economic revival tied to strict immigration enforcement. However, this zero-sum argument is widely disputed by economists, who point out that immigration often fuels economic growth and fills critical labor shortages. Despite the controversy, Trump's message resonated strongly with his base, who cheered his promises of security and prosperity. In a particularly contentious moment, Trump accused Somali immigrants in Minnesota of stealing billions through fraud, referencing a real but much smaller case and inflating its scale. By exaggerating the details, he drew national attention to the issue, but also risked spreading misinformation and stoking fear. Many saw this as unfairly targeting an entire community, raising concerns about scapegoating and discrimination. The governor of Minnesota quickly condemned Trump's remarks, calling them inflammatory, misleading, and harmful to the state's diverse population. Throughout his address, Trump's rhetoric blended policy proposals with sharp personal attacks, blurring the line between governance and political theater. This approach energized his supporters, who saw him as a fighter for their interests, but it also deepened divisions across the country. Immigration remained a flashpoint issue, sparking heated debates in the media and among the public. Trump's approach drew both passionate support from his followers and fierce criticism from opponents, highlighting the nation's deep polarization. Ultimately, the speech demonstrated Trump's willingness to use controversy as a tool to dominate headlines, shape the national conversation, and keep himself at the center of attention. By rallying his core voters with bold claims and divisive rhetoric, Trump ensured that immigration would remain a central and contentious issue in American politics. The nation's response to Trump's address was swift and polarized. Supporters praised his focus on the economy and bold promises, while critics called the speech disconnected from reality and full of exaggerations. Democrats pointed to rising unemployment and inflation, preparing for political battles ahead. Polls showed Trump's approval on the economy at just 36%, with overall job approval at 39%. The speech was a gamble to shift public perception and boost flagging ratings. Trump's message, he'd fix the mess and better times were coming, with new benefits like the warrior dividend. Whether this performance will change minds remains to be seen, but it set the stage for a contentious 2026 political season.